Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to my channel. So today I thought it would be fun to sit down and go over a bunch of the different wives' tales to try to figure out whether or not it's leaning more towards me having a boy or a girl. So let's jump right into it. So what I did is I just went online and I wrote down a bunch of them and kind of went over them to see kind of whether or not it made sense that I was having a boy or a girl versus each sort of wives' tale. So I have 14 different ones here for you guys. And the first one is salty versus sweet. So it says if you're craving more salty things, then you're more likely to be having a boy. If you're craving more sweet things, you're more likely to be having a girl. I would say definitely this pregnancy I'm craving more sweet things. I really love like chips and salty food, and it's not that I have an aversion to it, it's just that I don't feel like it. But I could eat like bowls and bowls of strawberries all day long. I could just eat. I love that. So for the first one, definitely a girl. Number 2 is morning sickness, whether or not you had morning sickness. If you have morning sickness, they say that that's more likely to be a girl. If you don't have morning sickness, it's more likely to be a boy. In the beginning of pregnancy, I had like, probably the first month, I felt really like just nauseous, like seasick kind of all the time, day, night, but I never actually got sick. So I'm gonna go ahead and say I never had morning sickness. I had morning like nausea, but not really sickness, and it didn't last very long. So I'm gonna go ahead and say that one is a boy. So number 3 is pregnancy glow versus no pregnancy glow. So I think most of the time women in pregnancy think that they're not glowing. However, I'm just going from my last pregnancy. With Jacob, I really did feel my skin felt like more clear and all of that sort of stuff. And so I'm gonna go ahead and say that this time I don't feel that pregnancy glow. I feel like I've got more breakouts and my skin just looks a little bit more dull than it did before. So no pregnancy glow means you are having a girl. Partner's weight, whether they gain weight or just sort of stay normal. So if they stay normal, that's supposed to mean that you're having a boy. If they gain weight, that's supposed to mean you're having a girl. I find this one interesting because when I was pregnant last time, we had a boy, and I feel like my husband gained a little bit of weight with me. And this time I feel like he's more normal. And so I'm gonna go ahead and say normal, and normal counts for a boy. So that's another one for boy. So number 5 is your mood, whether or not you feel moody versus whether or not you feel mellow. So if you're feeling moody and emotional, that's supposed to mean you're having a girl. If you're feeling like really mellow and chill, that's supposed to mean you're having a boy. I am definitely more moody this pregnancy, so that's gonna be in the girl column for sure. Your bump, whether you're carrying high or carrying low. If you're carrying high, that means that you're supposed to be having a girl. If you're carrying nice and low, that means you're supposed to be having a boy. And I'm definitely carrying a lot higher this pregnancy than I was with Jacob. This pregnancy, this baby's in my ribs. It's so high up, it's so uncomfortable, it's really hard to breathe. Where with Jacob, he was like my belly button or lower. I hardly felt him high at all. So I'm gonna go ahead and say that I'm definitely carrying high, so that's another one for the girl column. Number 7 is baby's heart rate. So if when you go into your doctor's appointments and your baby's heart rate is above 140 beats per minute, that is supposed to be more likely that you are having a girl. If it's lower than 140 beats per minute, that's more likely that you're having a boy. With both of my pregnancies, I feel like right in the beginning, both pregnancies, I had a very high heart rate for both of our kids, and like in like 160, something like that. And as my pregnancy progressed, they got lower and lower. This baby's heart rate, I would say, is lower than Jacob's for the most part. It's definitely, okay, I shouldn't say it's definitely, but most of the time it's like 144 beats or lower. So much so that I've had a few times where it's like 130, which is really low. Jacob was never that low. So I'm gonna go ahead and say that it's lower this time around, and that means boy. So number 8 is the Chinese gender prediction chart. If you've never seen that, I'll insert a picture of it right here. Basically, you take the month that you conceived and the age you were when you conceived, and you follow along and you find kind of where it meets, and it's supposed to tell you whether or not you're having a girl. So I went ahead and did that, and according to that, we are having a little girl. Number 9 is the shape of your bump. So if you're round and you kind of look like you're carrying just a big basketball, that's supposed to mean boy. If you're kind of gaining weight everywhere, that's supposed to mean girl. I definitely feel like this time around, I am gaining weight just in my stomach. I feel like my stomach is so round. I might be gaining weight other places, just not as noticeable as it was with my first pregnancy. I can still wear my rings and stuff like that. My hands and feet and face don't feel swollen yet, so hopefully I will not swell up. But that means we are supposed to be having a boy. So for skin, your hands and your face and your body in general, it says if you are feeling more smooth, it's supposed to mean girl. If you're feeling more dry and like sort of cracked, you're supposed to be having a boy. Definitely, I'm kind of, like I said, taking it off of my last pregnancy and going from there. This pregnancy, I definitely feel more moisturized. I don't know if it's the time of year that I've been pregnant versus the time of year that I was pregnant with my son. I have no idea, but I do feel like my skin is definitely more hydrated this time around. I might be better at like moisturizing too, so who knows? But at this point, I'm gonna go ahead and say that's a girl. Number 11, I find this one really funny too, your feet. Whether or not your feet are hot or cold. So it says if your feet are cold, that's supposed to mean that you are having a little boy. If your feet are hot, that means you're supposed to be having a little girl. With Jacob, my feet were so hot, like on fire hot. I used to have to wet a cold towel and place it on my feet in bed so that I could sleep because my feet were so hot. And this time around, I am freezing always. And so I think that that's funny because it's totally different than what the wives' tale says. Because according to that, Jacob should have been a little girl. But according to this time around, we're gonna go ahead and say that that one counts as a boy. So your urine color, if it's brighter yellow than normal, it's supposed to mean girl. If it's a duller yellow than normal, it's supposed to mean boy. And for me, it's definitely brighter or right around now, so I'm gonna go ahead and say girl. Number 13 is your hair. If it's thick and full and luscious and feels really nice and soft, that's supposed to mean you're having a boy. If it's dull and feels colorless and heavy and breaking and really damaged, that's supposed to mean little girl. Again, I'm going off my last pregnancy. I would definitely say this pregnancy, my hair feels way more fragile. It gets greasy a lot faster. It feels really dull and heavy. So I'm gonna go ahead and say that that's a girl. And number 14, the very last one, whether you're clumsy or balanced. So clumsy is supposed to mean you are having a boy and balanced is supposed to mean you are having a girl. I have slipped multiple times in this pregnancy. Baby's okay, I'm okay. I'm trying to be very careful with what I do, but I am definitely more clumsy. So that is in the boy column for sure. So with all that being said, I think girl has about 8 points and boy has about 6, I think, if I'm correct. I don't know, that's pretty even to me. I still kind of don't really know what I think we're having. I keep kind of thinking girl, but there's always that 50-50 chance, so my mind is a little bit confused. Comment down below, I want to know what you guys think I'm having, or if you have any other wives' tales that you want to let me in on, and I'll give those a shot as well. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it today. Give it a big thumbs up if you did, and we will see you in my next one. Bye guys.